Microsoft is principally a software company. It was founded by Bill Gates, and its core products are Microsoft Office Suite and Windows Server software line.
Exactly, that's well put. So apart from all the other things that go on, it's the sales of Microsoft Office, which of course is Word and Excel and PowerPoint and all of that stuff, which is really the default standard in business. And then the server infrastructure, not to be underestimated. And you can add to that the Microsoft Azure business, which is another web hosting business like Amazon Web Services. Tremendous.
It bought Nokia for $7 billion in 2014.
So that's why it's in here. You're reminding me. Nokia.
The market cap here is $452.2 billion a PE of 28.3 and a dividend yield of 2.5%. Microsoft, I want to get a share price graph up from the beginning.
A stock a lot of people have been very rude about, myself included, but look at that chart.
Now you are going to eat your words in terms of having been rude about Microsoft.
Well, it always looked like such a donkey, like what the earth was Bill Gates doing? You know, he'd fallen asleep, he was trying to solve malaria and the company was being run. But since Satya Nadella took over.
So this is tantamount to a reinvention, Rowan?
To some extent. I think Microsoft is less about mobile, and because it really runs applications that run on PCs. And so it's more about the transition in that PC world to the cloud, and whether Microsoft has been successful in adopting the cloud. And I think they really have. Paul mentioned Azure. That's the second largest web hosting service after AWS. We've seen that as being phenomenally successful. Microsoft have managed to get into that space and are growing it aggressively and rapidly. Then the core business application software, which is Office, they've also managed that to transition that into a software as a service with Office 365 and Windows 10 has been very successful. Windows 8 was a bit of a disaster, but they've recovered. Interesting, if you've got a Windows device, you've seen like they've almost been crazy about you adopting Windows 10. And what I read was interesting, Bing is embedded in Windows 10 as the search engine, so even their search revenues are growing because people are starting to use Bing.
I don't like Bing, actually, to be honest. I always... you put Google in the Bing to get Google, just to explain.
Well, they say Bing is so fast because you're the only person that's using it. But that's unfair. Actually, it has done some tie-ups with like Yahoo and so on, where default apps end up being, you find yourself on Bing and away you go. But it's interesting you say that.
Let's just go back to Microsoft. I want to see that recent rally. What is that? What unlocked that value?
Yeah, the most recent set of results, it was interesting. They weren't particularly exciting, revenue growth of sort of 2-3%, but what people are liking is that Azure business, is the switch to 365, is the success of Windows 10, the growth of Bing, and they all see a future for Microsoft where Paul maybe didn't at some point.
Hot or not?
Hot.
Hot or not?
I think you have to call it hot. And just for the record, AWS that Rowan mentioned earlier is Amazon Web Services. So that's something to keep in mind. I mean, people have talked for a long time about software as a service and things going into the cloud, but it really is happening now. Almost every application, every online thing that you're doing, it's subscription-based and it's web-based. So that future is here, and Microsoft's part of it.